really, really incredible. What we're going to do is take the outcome from it. We're gonna just take the meat and potatoes from every single chapter, because I want to, after this book, I want to start another book with you that's incredible. Okay, it's called Know Your Soul. Basically, talking about how to find your element and what element are you, and a combination of your elements, and how what your strength and your soul is, where it comes from most, and where your insecurity. It's like very, very, very strong. It's also Kabbalistic, very, very amazing. But in order to really get the most out of Tomer Devorah, you have to read the chapters. Okay, even if you don't have the book yet. The copies. So what were we talking about? How did I get to the whole kids thing? Oh, let my kid thing. Why did I get into this? Anyone?
Friend groups.
Who they're around.
Who they're around.
Create a strong why.
Create a strong why. Who they're around. I think that that idea of understanding that, like, you can never be in a perfect setting, in a perfect situation for your growth. You have to know that in order to grow, there has to be resistance, and in order to grow, there has to be that person, that food, that thing that you're going to be challenged with, and you're going to be able to look at it in the eye and say, my why is more important than doing this again, than giving in to succumbing to the stuff that makes me feel the instant gratification in the moment, but in the long run, it really leaves me with a residue. It leaves me with that feeling of like I don't like the feeling in me, okay, of doing the same thing. Oh, I know how we got into it, but people are creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit. We can come out of habit very, 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 very quickly if we decide to give up on our safety. That's where it came from. The whole thing of safety. Our brain wants to keep us safe, but being safe is not always being alive. And being safe is not always being in touch with yourself. Oftentimes being safe, when I say safe is playing your cards right. You play your cards right. You do the same thing every day. You eat the same thing every day. You don't shake the boat in your life. You don't shake the boat. If you're addicted to the things that you're addicted to the nagia, to the guy, to the way you're talking, to cursing, to whatever it is, there's no way. And also go for the good things. You keep Shabbos, you keep tznius, you wear skirts, you're doing your thing. That's it. You don't shake the boat. Growth is constantly trying to shake your own boat. Challenge yourself. I normally eat this. I normally drink my coffee every morning. This morning, I'm not going to drink it right when I wake up. I'm going to drink it at 12. Or I'm not going to drink it at all. Why? For the heck of it. Because I don't want to be a creature of habit. What does that mean? That I am not chained right now to my addictions. I'm not chained to my habits. I can come out of my habits. I can come out of my addictions. If I want to be Shomer Negia right now, I tell my boyfriend or whoever I'm in a relationship with or not, hi, we're Shomer now. I don't ask for permission. I don't say, oh my God, how's he going to take it? If that's something that you feel that's going to contribute to your growth and to your life and to your future and to your marriage and to all your home and to your frumkeit and to your spiritual involvement and to your mental involvement and to your emotional health and well-being, you just call a spade and you do it. And if it's for a week, bless you. And if you decide to do it for a week, you just notify, I'm doing it for a week. There's no permission asking. There's no permission asking for your own growth. Because what we want to do is stay the same. We are creatures of habit. We want to stay the same. We don't want to shake our boat. The best lives are the lives that the boats are shaken in. The best lives. You want to live your best life? Shake your boat. Don't do the same thing every single day. Shake it up. Down to the part where even you brush your teeth with your right hand. Don't brush your teeth with your right hand tonight. Brush it with your left hand. The more you challenge your brain not to fall into circuits of habit, the more you challenge your brain not to fall into the same circuits of habits, the more alive you will feel and in touch with yourself you will become. The more scared you are to change anything in your life, but this is what I eat, but this is how I sleep, but this is how I talk, but this is who I mingle with, but this is what I do, but this is what I don't do. The more rigid you are, the less in touch with yourself and the more depressed you will become. Okay? Because people need to feel that safety and that control of knowing what to expect in my life. And if I do this, I don't know what to expect. If I now fight my addiction, what's going to come out of me? If I don't drink my coffee, what's going to come out of me? Well, wait and see. Don't be afraid of what's going to come out of you. If you're going to be Shomer Negia now, what's going to come out of me? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what evolves out of this thing, out of this creature. We are the most incredibly creative. We are the most intricate. We are the most evolved creature that ever lived. Human beings are the most evolved creature. A cow can't say, no, I'm not going to eat that today. I'm going to control my taiva today. Why? Because I want to grow wings, because I want to really fly, because I want to be in control of my nefesh habeimit. No, a cow does the same thing every single day, and there's no thoughts. Should I? Shouldn't I? There's no internal fights, wars. None of that. There's none of that. What there is just what you see is what you get. That's why it's called be'ema, ba'ma. What is it? Ba'ma. There's nothing really happening there. There's a nefesh, it's alive, but there's no free choice. She's on automatic. She's on autopilot. She's programmed. Animals are programmed. They live by instinct. They're programmed. It's what obviously it's gonna. An animal's gonna. A deer is gonna walk by a lion. He will attack. He's not gonna be like, you know what? Today, I'm gonna let her go because I see she has family and I see she has kids and I see she's on her way to feed them and they need to eat. And who's gonna feed them if she doesn't get to them? He doesn't think. He doesn't care. He functions as an instinct. It's all programmed. We're the only ones that are not programmed. We're the only ones that have free choice. We're the only ones that can say, I really, really want to call him. I really, really want to text him, but I'm going to hold off because it's not healthy for me. And then curb it. And then what happens when I do enough of those things? What happens when I don't fall into habit 24/7 and just, this is who I am, this is how I talk, this is who my friends are, this is how it is, love it or leave it. If I don't fall into that state of being and I try new things all the time, and I challenge myself, and I throw myself into outside of my comfort zone, and I break my own habits, if I do that over and over and over again, what I do to myself is that I become more myself. I evolve. And then I feel alive, and then I don't have to draw pictures of chains and swords and knives because I feel imprisoned. It's all good. We all feel the same way. She just drew it. It's all good. Every person feels that way in their life at some point, where they're living for outside external appearances and they have to just follow the code, and otherwise they won't feel like they're in. Okay, and everyone feels that way until you have enough pain from that space that you just wake up and say, enough, I don't care. I'm going to live for myself. I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to go after the things that challenge me. I'm going to fight them. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give in. You know how many times I stare different challenges in the face and they're hard for me, and then I could just give in to them. This is what I do. This is how I eat. This is what it is. And that's it. And when I realize that's something, because what happens is that your biggest challenge in your life, your biggest challenges in your life, is someone in Shana Aleph asked a really good question. She said, we were talking about Kina Taiva and Kavod. Kina Taiva and Kavod, the three things that take a person out of their life, out of themselves. Three things that remove a person from themselves. They can't think straight. They can't think straight. Haman had everything. He had everything. He had control of everything. There was one person that didn't bow down to him. His whole life wasn't worth anything. V'zelo shaveli. He says, Zelo shaveli. My money, my riches, my where I am, I'm second to king. Lo shaveli, if he's not bowing down to me. It's exactly what happened with Kanye West 2 weeks ago. It doesn't matter. He says, I'm a billionaire, and I'm the most creative, and I'm a genius, and I was married to this, and I was to that, I'm the most amazing. He sits on all these shows, and I have more money than you do, and he tells all the people that are interviewing him, I'm better than you, and I'm smarter than you, because I have more money than you. And he says it straight up, but zelo shaveli. None of this is worth it for me. Why? Because there's a group of Jews that I hate, that I want to bring down the Jews. And the more he tries to, the more he creates his own demise. He brings himself down. And all the companies fired him, and all his money and all this stuff. Why? Because he has this thing called kavod and kina. How can it be that there's somebody that has more money than me? And he's a Jew. So it must be because he's a Jew. How can it be that somebody that has more power than me? I want to be the most powerful. What do you think is going on with all these massive world countries like Russia and all these places that are massive ego trips? It's all emotion. It's all ego. It's all kavod and taiva and kina. Motziin et ha'adam min ha'olam. A person can't think straight. Russia is threatening to throw the atom bomb because he's not thinking straight. He's not thinking straight. He's not thinking peace and love in the world. He's thinking he has a lot of, not just him, but everything that's going on there. Right? That's how it works. That's how it works. The people that are most powerful, that have the most money, the people that have, if they're not connected to truth, they're so desperate for more. So desperate for more. They have billions and they want more. They want more. It's not enough. It's never enough because it's never enough. Because physical stuff is never enough. You have one, you want two. You have two, you want four, Chazal say. It's not that you have 2, you want 3. You want double always of what you have, not just physical, in life in general. Okay, I have my vision, I have my health, I have air, I'm in Israel, I have clothes on my back, I have money in my pocket, I have, a great school, I have friends, but I don't have this thing. And because I don't have this one thing, because my family sucks, or because I had a bad childhood, or because, I don't get good grades, or because somebody in seminary doesn't really want to talk to me, or is giving me, the cold shoulder, or whatever it is, זה לא שווה לי. That's where my focus goes. My focus will always go on what's not working for me in my life, not on what is working for me in my life, because we are programmed, because that's how human beings are programmed, unless what? Unless they change their own programming. And that's where we are, what we're learning here. We're learning to reprogram ourselves in a way that's not going to keep me on this mouse wheel like everybody else is in. Okay, so you get the money and you get the looks and you have the surgeries and you lose the weight and you get the guy and you get the house and you get the car and you get the friends and you get the vacations, and then what? It's never enough because our desires are huge in the physical world. And the way it works with physicality is the more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. The more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. In spirituality, it's not like that. In spirituality, is that the more you feed it, the more it grows, and the more alive, and the more it gives back, and the more in touch. And that's why we're learning in the SEFER how to become more godly, because we have the 2 parts of ourselves. We have the dark and we have the light. And the dark is the one that's very, very forceful. It has a lot of pull, because the more you feed something, the stronger it gets. And we did this last year with the two wolves. Remember the 2 wolves? The 2 wolves with the grandchild and the grandfather. And he comes to his grandfather and he says, "Grandfather, there are 2 wolves." And the grandfather explains to him, he says, there are 2 wolves. He says, one wolf is greed. It's hungry for lust. I want to read it to you, but I'm recording. It's greed. It's jealous. It's money hungry. That's one wolf. And the other wolf and it's angry, and it's, I don't know, there's a bunch of adjectives that describe the first wolf, which is the dark wolf. And the light wolf is loving, it's tender, it's compassionate, it's caring. So this grandchild asks the grandfather, so which wolf wins? He says, you have 2 wolves inside, so which wolf wins? And the grandfather says, the one you feed. The one you feed will always win. The part of you that you feed. You have temptations, we all do. You have habits, we all do. How do you break them? You break them by, number 1, knowing that you'll never break them in one shot. Ever! You're going to get on the treadmill and you're going to fall off. And you're going to get on the treadmill and you're going to fall off. And you're going to get on the treadmill and fall off. Then you're going to get on the treadmill and you're not going to fall off. Because that's how it works. That's how it works. In the end, when you challenge yourself enough, okay, you're in a habit. You're in a habit. You smoke. You're a smoker, let's say. Okay, it's hard for people to stop smoking. It's very, very hard. You get into the habit of smoking. It's not like, okay, yada, I'm a smoker. You know what? It's what I am. I can't stop. I tried. I can't do it. And it's bigger than me. I can't do it. A person that says, I'm a smoker, but tomorrow I'm not smoking, or I'm not smoking till 5, or I'm not going to smoke till tomorrow morning, or I'm going to push it off, and they fight it, and for a week I'm not smoking, and I'm going to get gum, or I'm going to go on exercises, I'm not going to be around people that, I'm not going to go with my friends that smoke, and they fight it, and after a week they fall back and they have a cigarette. They're not in the same place that they were a week before. Spiritually and emotionally, they're not in the same place, even if they start smoking again the same way they smoked beforehand. The next time they decide and they're inspired to stop smoking, it'll be easier for them. That's how it works. So we have to know that in order to really be able to lift ourselves and grow, we have to know that what we're up against, what we're dealing with 2 sides. How do I grow? By understanding that the side that I feed is the side that wins. And even if I decide to starve it for a day or starve it for an hour, I'm giving more power to the part of me that I want to strengthen. It's not all or nothing in this world. It's not all or nothing in this world. We're not black and white Jews. We're not. It's either I'm a Rebbitzin or just leave me alone, let me just do my thing. No. It doesn't work that way. You have to know that when you take power away from something, you're giving it to something else. When you take power away from your bad habits that keep you stuck, that keep you in the same place, you're not walking, you're not running, you're not evolving, you're not eating better, you're not praying, you're not working on your midos, you're not working on your shomer, you're not working on these things, you're not there. Why? Because in your brain it's all or nothing. It's if I'm not perfect, then forget it. No! That is a recipe for disaster that will never work in your life in any area ever, ever, ever. You want to be a winner? You want to be a winner? You have to know that it comes in increments. Today you went on a walk, you took away from the dark and you gave it to the light. You're taking away power and strength from the habits, and you're giving them to the things that you want to become good in and you want to become stronger in. You're taking energy from here and you're moving it here. You're taking energy from here and you're moving it here. Even if you end up falling backwards, and then in a week you stop exercising and you trash your body and you whatever, you still have more strength in the side that you want to get stronger in. It's now all or nothing. And that's number one. And number two is understanding. Number two is understanding that the more I invest, the more deposits I make into my godliness, that is how I come out of all the mental instabilities and illnesses. That is how I come out of all the darkness inside, because darkness breeds darkness. I'm involved in dark things, then I start feeling dark on the inside. And I hate myself on the inside. I don't enjoy life on the inside. And I wake up with that terrible feeling in the morning of, ugh. Because it creates a residue of darkness. When you're involved in things that are dark, when you're involved in things that are hurting you, when you're involved in things that are taking away from your self-esteem and away from your self-worth. Somebody in the other class was saying like, but what if he leaves me if I tell him I'm Shomer? I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a great thing to happen if he does. Because if you decide that you want to do this for yourself, because this is something that you want to grow in and it's something that you want to do, and this is something that's going to give you back your femininity and your worth and your self-worth and your power and your control, and you're going to save your own female magic for the right person at the right time, and it could be him. You're not saying you're going to break up with him. You're just saying you're Shomer Negiah with him, and he says, see ya. Then you say, wouldn't want to be ya. And then you get out. Yeah.
You said there's 3 things that take a person from himself. What are the 3 things?
3 things that take a person out of their own world. Kina, jealousy. And remember, we're not jealous until we're jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of anyone until I'm jealous of someone. So it's all there. We're working with a lot of negative energies. We're also working with a lot of powerful energies and light energies. What we do is we end up feeling like we're more negative than positive. That's where the Yetzer Hara gets us. He gets us in the head. He gets us in the head to talk. He constantly talks in my ear and tells me all the bad stuff about myself and all the places where I'm not measuring up. And then I believe it and I just eat out of the palm of his hand because obviously it's true. And then all the amazing, powerful parts of me and the passion and the charisma and the strength and the resilience and the force and all the stuff that I have to give to this world and to bring into my life, I just like let it get small, and it's small and it's quiet and it has no voice, and it's just like I don't believe in myself and because this voice is so much stronger, and to stay safe and to have my life stay the same and nothing move around too much and not to shake the boat and not to step out of my comfort zone. That's specifically where I'm going to get my life force from. Shaking my boat, stepping out of my comfort zone, challenging myself. Today I'm going to run up the steps. I'm not going to take the elevator. Do it. Break it. Break the pattern. Break the pattern. Break the pattern in your life. Literally, you go to sleep on your right side, go to sleep on your left side. Break patterns. It keeps your brain younger, healthier, and you end up feeling more alive and better. You end up feeling more alive and better. Remember that shame. Shame keeps us very quiet, keeps us very, very, very inside. We always have to, walk the walk and talk the talk so everyone says we're good enough, we're okay, we belong. You have to listen to the voice inside that tells you, that speaks to you, that guides you, and stop doubting it. Because what you have to give to the world, nobody else has to give to the world. Nobody can give what you give. And as long as the dark voices are talking to you in your ear and telling you you're not enough, or just stay the same, or what's life, or what's the point, let's just waste time, let's just go on this thing and just sit on it for hours on end, because what else is there to do? And as long as we're in that space, all the amazing parts of us, we don't even know are there. We don't even know are there. We have to feed them in order for them to come to life. And the way to feed parts of yourself that you don't even know are there is to try new things and to do things differently. To come out of your same. How many times do you want to hear the same song? How many times do you want to hear the same song before you get depressed and you want to just break the thing? That's why people are so depressed, because they do the same thing every single day and they expect different results. They do the same thing, they eat the same thing, they think the same way, they don't work on themselves. It's all the same thing every single day and they expect to feel good. And they expect to feel better. And when they don't, they start popping more pills. Because something's not working. You know what's not working? You're freaking on the same song for the past 10 years. Same song. Your neshama inside is dying. I can't listen to this anymore. Can't listen to this anymore. Do something different. Do something else. No, because if I do something different, I'm scared that my life will not work for me. If I tell him that I'm shomer, I'm scared that he's going to leave me. If I'm going to not drink my coffee, I'm scared I'm going to be angry. If I'm going to... Stop being so scared of everything. Why are we so scared of everything? Why are we not more courageous? And I can face it. If he wants to break up with me because I decided I want to be shomer, thank God I know about it now. Thank God I know about it now. And I'll waste another minute with this person. Another minute. And I'm not gonna live my life out of fear. I'm not gonna live my life out of fear. Is not gonna take the seat, the driving seat in my life. It's not. It's not gonna drive me in my life. The fear that I have is gonna drive me in my life. Oh boy, I'm gonna drive right off a cliff. Right off a cliff. I remember telling my friend when I was 26 and I was getting engaged. I remember telling her, I know I'm gonna marry him. I don't want to though. Why did I know I was gonna marry him? I knew I was gonna marry him because he fit right into where I was at the time. He fit right in. He didn't challenge my insecurities. He didn't make me have to come out and be vulnerable. He let me be exactly as I was. I could dodge all bullets. I can keep running away. I cannot, address real things. Perfect. And I did the same for him. But the second I started realizing that I have more needs and that I want to be vulnerable, there was no space for that because that's what you get. You get what you are. You don't get what you want. You don't get your ideal. You get what you are. And as long as I was running away from myself, as long as I was being detached from myself, as long as I was telling myself in some kind of story that this is what I am and this is my life and this is what I can do and this is what I can't do and this is my worth and my value, it's exactly what I attracted. So if he's going to say, I can't do this because you're shomer now, then he doesn't love you. He loves himself. He doesn't see you. He sees himself. That's a really great person to take a step away from. So this chapter is telling us and is talking to us about something very, very, very crucial and very, very important. It's telling us, let's rewire our programming, because when we rewire ourselves and we become more godly, the part of us that is inside of us, we strengthen, we feed, we nourish, we give it life. The more we do that, the more I strengthen the parts inside of me that are good that are me, the godliness inside of me. Wow, I become like God. I become like God. God is not dependent on anyone. God is not needy of anyone. God is the ultimate giver. He's the ultimate giver. And what is the first chapter talking about? If you read it, it's talking about how Hashem gives to the people. He gives, and the people that he gives to, there are people that he gives to, that they use exactly what he's giving them against him. Think Hitler, Imach Shemo. Think people that are bad, that they take the life, they take the money, they take the cover, they take the health, they take all the well-being that God gives them, and they use it in their lifetime against him. Against him. A person that goes and rapes someone. He took his body, his heart, his lungs, his organs, his mind, his brain, his eyes, takes all that and he uses it to hurt somebody else. So Mikal Kamocha is the midah of Hashem saying, I give life and I give goodness to a person that it's almost like the person that bites the hand that feeds him. Hashem keeps feeding the mouth that keeps biting the hand. To keep feeding the mouth that keeps biting the hand. To keep feeding the mouth that keeps biting the hand. And it's telling us, be like God. Be like God. Be the person that, yes, you lent her a skirt when she asked you for it. And then you ask her to borrow something from her closet and she's like, no. Don't be like her. The next time she comes back to you and asks you to borrow something, don't be like her. Be like God. Don't mimic her midos. Mimic his midos. which is keep feeding the hand that bites you. Keep feeding the mouth that bites you, which sounds ridiculous and crazy. But move away from your human instinct to want to take revenge. Move away from that human instinct, that 1 + 1 in your mind that says, excuse me, why should I be someone else's welcoming mat? She asks me for things, and when I ask her, she's not there, so no. That's very human, and that makes a lot of sense. But if you really want to be in the business of growth, and if you really want to be in the business of becoming strong internally, in terms of your godliness, in terms of the parts of you that are light and love and passion, and the parts of you that you don't even know exist yet, and huge parts of your potential, feed it with light. And this is light. Because this is how God acts. And Hashem commands us, be like me, walk like me, talk like me, act like me. I promise you, it will only serve you. How is this serving me? How is giving someone that doesn't see what I'm giving them serving me? That's like being used. So no, it's not. It's not. It's a choice you're making to be on the side of the giving side. I am exercising my giving muscles, regardless of the fact that she's exercising her cheap muscles. That's her decision. That's her choice. I'm not going to be like her. I'm going to be like him. And that's how we grow, and that's how we evolve, and that's how we feed the light parts of ourselves, and that's how we feed the part nefesh elokit. And then when we feed the nefesh elokit inside of us, and we move away from feeding the nefesh be'emit, which is the part of us that wants to keep us stationary and not move and not grow and safe and in prison. Okay, the more we feed the light side of us, the more we will have wings in this life. And we will not be dependent on what this one thinks of us, or how that one looks of us, or if we leave our house with makeup or without makeup, or how whatever it is. None of that will touch us, will not make a dent on us. We will fly. And that's the goal. And that's the equation, that's the formula. I hope you guys wrote that down. Because it's very, very, we can easily forget it. And we have to know how it works. It works like this. And Chazal say the most amazing thing. We say, that the instant gratification feelings come from the stuff that nefesh be'emit, and then you have bad feelings afterwards. So Chazal tell you up to the ad kedei kach that if you're going to do a mitzvah and there's not one part of there's not a bone in your body that's telling you don't. There's nothing in your brain that's saying, I don't want to. I don't feel like I have chesed today. Like, if there's not one part of you that's saying don't, you're not doing it for the right reasons. If you have to go do a mitzvah, you're doing something good. You go to the kotel to pray mincha. And there's nothing inside of you that's saying, I'm so tired, I don't feel like, okay, let's go. Just go. There's nothing inside of you that's pulling you down a little bit. Your reasoning for going to the kotel is not 100% pure. There's someone there. There's something there. You're not doing it purely. Because if you are doing something purely, the Yetzer Hara, there's not a chance in heck that he's not going to try to pull you back and make you lazy and make you second guess and make you second think and make you not sure. Not a chance. That's how it works. That's why it feels so good in the beginning, because he's pushing you to do something that's going to make you feel bad after. And that's why the drive to do something not good in the beginning is such a drive, because he's there. He's making it exciting for you. It's setting you, so you have the drool. You're drooling you on it so badly. And with this stuff, in the beginning, has to be heavy. If it's not heavy, then it's not good for you. If there's not a little bit of that, I don't feel like going, I don't feel like doing it, I don't feel like getting out of bed, I don't feel like praying, I don't feel like not talking to Lashon Hara, I don't feel like being Shomer Negev. If there's not a little bit of that, it's not straight. Okay, so it's the fact that it is there, by the fact that you are being challenged with resistance, is a good sign. You're in the gym, you're lifting those weights, you're about to grow. And your growth is your freedom. It's your freedom. It's your feeling alive. It's not being safe and in control. All right? Any questions? Girls, read the first chapter. Read it. Okay? Take notes on it. Read it together. Do it together. I think I told you last week. Teach it to each other.
What are the other two things?
Kina, jealousy. Taiva, lust. When you're lusting for something, you tell yourself, today, that's it, I'm not eating sugar anymore. And all of a sudden you go upstairs and there's like donuts. So when you said, I'm not eating sugar anymore to yourself, there were no donuts around. And you were sure that this is what you want. And you're sure that you want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to have more energy, you know that it's not good for you. But then when you're met with the lust, you're met with the lust, with the taiva, the thing that you have lust for, the thing that you want. You want it, okay? In that moment, you're not the same person you were downstairs when you were making that decision. In that moment, now you're being challenged. Now it's peaking. Now you're looking at the challenge. Now you're being met with the resistance. Now you're lifting the weights. It's now that you're doing your run. When you're challenged with it, when you're looking at it, you have the resistance. It's telling you, I want, but maybe I have to take a crumb. Maybe it's not good all or nothing. Maybe I shouldn't be black and white. Devorah said, don't be black and white Jew. Why am I going all or nothing? Nah. So then that is when you're being met with your lust. So the lust, the jealousy, and the kavod, we covered, the last one is the kavod. The kavod means the wanting the respect, the wanting to be acknowledged, the wanting to be seen, the wanting to stand out. The wanting to have people respect you, run after you, like your posts.
Is that ego?
What?
That's ego.
That's more of the ego. Kavod is more ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want me to talk today?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
But we're starting a thing next week. We're starting